All right, so I was asking Ethan to do it poorly. He doesn't even want to do it. Don't do it that way. This is like pathetic elbow extension and breakdown. Show us the long arm motion, Ethan. Do it the right way for me. Yeah, right away. So the reality is we're trying to take a lot of the pressure out of the arm and put it through the core. So the way we block, the way we train, we're just extremely focused on making sure the block is the stopping force. The core rotates forward and the arm extends up and into the throw, and making sure we're not too forward. So the other way to train a long arm is to simply do it with the pronation at the ending, and then making sure you're trying to use your core when you throw, not just your arm. Boom. All right, the last segment of the evening is simply mobility of the shoulder. I know that many of you don't have all the apparatus and gymnastics equipment to do shoulder mobility, but you may have a weighted ball or a plate, and I'm just going to have Ethan do the most basic mobility that I used to do every day before practice. I've seen many others do it, so you're already doing it. So forward rotations for 10. You can stop at 5 and move to the backwards ones, so make it a little shorter. 5 that way. Now do the flat one over the head. Yeah, you got to bend sideways and keep the plate flat like you're making a circle over your head, Ethan. That's the one. Come on, faster, Grandpa. And now go the other direction. Yes, that's the toughest one. Hence you have to bend over a little bit, and that's just getting the shoulder lubricated and warmed up for your day's work. In this progression, I'll go a little bit backwards. It's just Ethan and I out here, like I said, and this cord will be pulling him in, and he's just doing a stretch for his arm, keeping his arm back. Perfect block positions, buddy. Yeah. And now if you want to follow through, go ahead. You'll trigger the right knee and hip, and then it follows through. So tell me what you're doing with your left arm. Let's talk about that left arm.
I'm just trying to keep this really stable and work off it. We talked about our hips and our core, and I think the left shoulder really brings it together. If my left shoulder is weak, it's a lot easier to drop down, so trying to be really strong and engaging.
But if you pull your left elbow down, which is, it opens you up early and it shortens everything. That's what we worry about all the time.
It's a lot harder to know where the tip is and keep control.
Please consider keeping your left elbow up just one extra frame in all your throwing, just a little bit, and then pull it. A further explanation for the pronation and release of what the arm should be doing when you throw a javelin is kind of going to be demonstrated against the wall. So here's what we're looking for when we make a throw. So go through your action, you got external pull, release. In reality, if I put a nail in this wall, okay, it's concrete, I know, but if it was wood and I put a nail here and I gave him a hammer, he'd want to hit the nail with the hammer head. What I don't want him to do would be to over-rotate the hips, then smash the elbow into the wall, to show the mistake of overturning the elbow. Even worse, you're doing it, you don't know how to do it poorly. Do it where the elbow collapses. And if this is happening and you're throwing, that means you're losing your left side block and you're not focusing on stopping your chin and chest and pronating, so do it the proper way. What I want to talk about is how the arm will go through its motion to release a javelin. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn the hip forward. You're going to catch that long arm. Everybody knows about that out there. But what's going to happen from there is you're going to go to what's called external rotation of the shoulder. The arm will stay back. The hand is going to try to stay as far back as possible. And as you go to release, your pressure will go through the armpit. You're going to go through a little bit of the elbow, and you're going to follow through with your fingers to release. Now I want to talk about the most important part of what this arm is doing and what it shouldn't be doing and what it could be doing. Sorry, I have my tool in hand. That's it. The whole thing, you can pretend like you're throwing that way, Kyle. So basically the bottom line is what we're trying to teach when I teach javelin technique is the left side stays solid and tall. The hip is leading the hands. This is well known internationally. Go ahead and finish your hip. Make your throwing action, follow through. you'll see the finish of that while we're using a baton. Where I'm trying to not allow for this to happen in throwers is the hip or the left side to pull back, pull your left arm down early, and the elbow collapse. I mean, he won't even do it the wrong way. He knows better. I don't want the elbow, no, hold on to this, it's okay. I just want the elbow to collapse even more because I see this, coaching a lot of high school people. If you see something like this and you're throwing and you're turning, make the correction to focus on hitting the nail with the hammerhead. That we've done, that I've used a garage door or space, but Kyle's going to do a basic drill. Go ahead. Where when we do the throwing motion, we try to tap something above our heads equal to where we would release. You're a little bit, you can back up a little bit. The heel should be about the line. The line is even with our surface. And bang. Okay. So if you did it the wrong way, your elbow would collapse. Correct. Or you would step off while you're throwing. We're trying to avoid that. Go back to the right direction. Practice. And in reality, if you used a rope or a towel, or I used to use a rubber hose, you can do it fast and not hurt yourself. But right now, we're just going with this one. I'd like to explain how the javelin is affected by the pronation of the wrist and shoulder, or the rotation of that shoulder, wrist. What happens in the throw is you get the benefits that are what we call vertical. So not only is Kyle throwing forward, go ahead Kyle, start throwing, and then as you vertically rotate, as you notice that there's going to be an extension of his elbow. His elbow is not collapsing from lack of rotation. His elbow is extending with pronation. And when you have extension, you get a vertical lift on the javelin. So not only is he throwing it forward, but there is actual vertical lift. And if you look at it, it's being pushed through the javelin, which you may have heard the definition or the words, the bump. We're getting a bend in the javelin from underneath. We're pushing it up, and he's doing it perfectly. And the release typically happens right above the heel. Go ahead a little further. Follow through. All right, so let me explain to you pronation, the arm action, the shoulder action, the elbow action, the wrist action that it takes to release the javelin clean and to take a little pressure off the elbow. So Kyle, show me just a normal throwing action for me. Yes. So what you see Kyle doing, pronounce, do it again for me. Excellent. Is once he goes into the external shoulder rotation, what does he do next? He starts to throw, and then you see his wrist and shoulder turn. This is a natural occurring action that is required to help you keep the shoulder musculature useful to slow the arm down. Most of our injuries come from when you slow the arm down, not when you throw the javelin, but when you release it. There's a tremendous amount of acceleration at the release. Go ahead and finish the release. The shoulder has to be in position, and then the elbow has to be extended up into the throw to help you keep the injuries at bay. So show us one more time. And all it really is. That's phenomenal, youngster. Way to go! Great right to left, great stick on the spear. Van Jacks, I'm not sure if you. Pretty close. The left arm pulled away and cost you. Yes! Why put? But why? This is your left arm pulling away. Hold it and then send it. Oh my God! You can't hit a javelin better than that. You're getting a tremendous pump. Gee, that one you push the chest a little forward. You notice that? A little bit out. Yeah, you can probably impulse and land. Just away. Great job, G. Excellent. That's awesome. You can activate your back foot to help you set your block. That's a nice job, you two. Great. Very steady. Just nice impulse, arm lands its longest, little bit of right foot action to help you set your left. Great job, boys.